أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون. لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون. إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون. وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون. وسواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم. إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين. واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون. قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون. قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين. قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب أليم. قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون. وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون. وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون. أأتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغن عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون. إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين. إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون. قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين. وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين. إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون. يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون. ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وأعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أنطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نعمره ننكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم ير الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد. الفاتحة. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. أعظم الله أجوركم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi, dear brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, with the grace of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with His lutf, with His karam, that we are gathered over here to commemorate. Indeed, this month of Rajab al-Asab is filled with various blessed occasions, as well as this night of the 15th, which is mansub to the Shahada, or as others say as Wafat, of Lady Zaynab alayha salam and Lady Kulthum alayhi salam. Inshallah, we'll have Sheikh Shafiq Hudda who will be addressing this majlis Aza. Just a couple of announcements before the majlis, with the permission of the dear Sheikh. Tomorrow, inshallah, on 22nd of March, that corresponds to 15th of Rajab, Salatul Jum'ah will take place over here at 1:30 p.m. led by Sheikh Shafiq Hudda. It has also come to my attention, obviously, there has been those events of terrorism around the world that we strongly condemn, as the true principle of Islam tells us. And also came to attention the attack that happened in Afghanistan during these Nowruz celebrations, as well as I was also brought to the attention that an event that took place where a ferry drowned and about 33 people died in Iraq and Mosul. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah bestow their loved ones with patience, that indeed this is a great loss. We pray for the maghfirah of all these marhumin and for their elevated status. For the acceptance of our dua, sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Just a few poetic verses in the honor of this noble lady who indeed said, when asked about the tragedy of Karbala, that ma ra'aytu illa jamila, that I haven't seen anything but beauty. As though this lady would have been said, penned the poem, that indeed till this day this lady still remembers her brother Hussein. Aaj bhi Zaynab ki aati hai sada bhai Hussein. आज भी ज़ैनब की आती है सदा भाई हुसैन। तेरा चेहरा तेरी आँखें भूल कब पाई हुसैन। आज भी ज़ैनब की आती है सदा भाई हुसैन। चलते नाक़े से गिराया खुद को जलती रेत पर, चलते नाक़े से गिराया खुद को जलती रेत पर। घुटनियों के बल में तेरी लाश तक आई हुसैन। बस मैं घबराई थी खंजर तुझ पे चलता देख कर। बस मैं घबराई थी खंजर तुझ पे चलता देख कर। फिर किसी मुश्किल में घिर कर मैं न घबराई हुसैन। कौन था जो मरने वालों मैं नहीं था खूबरू। कौन था जो मरने वालों मैं नहीं था खूबरू। भूलने बैठी तो किस किस की न याद आई हुसैन। बह रहे थे आँख से आंसू तेरी रुखसत के वक्त। बह रहे थे आँख से आंसू तेरी रुखसत के वक्त। फिर कोई आंसू न टपका आँख पथराई हुसैन। दूर उफ्तादा सफर से लौट कर मैंने नवेद। दूर उफ्तादा सफर से लौट कर मैंने नवेद। ठंडा पानी जब पिया बस तेरी याद आई हुसैन। आज भी ज़ैनब किया थी है सदा भाई हुसैन ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Brothers and sisters, now I'd like to request our respected Maulana Shaykh Shafiq Hudda to address this Majlis Azza. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Fatiha. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين خالق السماوات والأرض إلها واحدا أحدا صمدا لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين رحمة للعالمين طه وياسين بالقاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين المنتجبين ورحمة الله على محبيهم ولعنة الله على أعدائهم وقاتليهم وغاصب حقوق حقهم ومنكر فضائلهم أجمعين من يومنا هذا إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتبارك في كتابه الحكيم وفرقانه المجيد وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا أهل البيت عليهم السلام بالخصوص الليل. Respected sisters and brothers, my youngsters, my elders, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullah. As we mark this wafat or shahadat, as Sayyid mentioned, of two daughters of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and of course the most closely aligned aspect of the life of these two ladies, Hazrat Zaynab al-Kubra, Zaynab al-Sugra, Thaniya Zahra, Thalitha Zahra, those who were the successor of Hazrat Zahra, those who were the large, the greater, the elder Kubra and the younger Zaynab al-Sugra. We find that one of the things that history tells us or reminds us is that how did the situation come to be the situation that it was that caused so much grief on the Ahlul Bayt? What state of events, what barrage of events led to what was happening, what had happened to them, that today the memories that we have of the Ahlul Bayt are sad memories, are bitter memories. And as Shaheed Sibta Jafar mentioned so beautifully in his manqabat, in his recitation, he said that the tragedy that had befallen on the Ahlul Bayt would have still been bearable if it was from an outsider. It makes it difficult because it was from those who said La ilaha illallah, or who claimed to say La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. This is the heartfelt tragedy. This is what is the sadness. And I wanted to now go back one step and see, because as I mentioned, we want to know how we came to this place. In order for understand how we came here, we have to understand what the journey was like. And right from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, these voices, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, these voices were starting to raise their head up in ways that people did not even understand it or would not be able to understand it. And if you want to parallel something, you will understand very clearly. You'll ask me if I'm a subscriber to conspiracy theories, and I will tell you I'm not. But the reality also has to be looked at. And when you want to see how Karbala happened, how the events of Karbala and the dhulm, the oppression and the tyranny against the Ahlul Bayt happened, the seeds were planted at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Actually, we can even go before, but I'm going to take it from here. And if you don't want to believe me, then I'll give you a parallel in modernity, in modern history. If you look at the events that have transpired in the Muslim world today, you will see one thing. Which is the most disunited community in the world? Which is the most dysfunctional community in the world? You will have no other choice but to say the Muslims. How did we reach this state of dysfunction and disunity and complete chaos? Utter chaos that we have moved away from Islamic values without even realizing we have moved away from Islamic values. We don't even realize it. Where in the history of Islam did you ever have any kingdom? Where in the history of Islam? The first ones who established a mulukiyat was Banu Umayyah, who were the destroyers of Islam, and followed by Banu Abbas. Did the Prophet have a kingdom? And yet now you look at today, you've got the kingdom of Bahrain, the kingdom of Jordan, the kingdom of it's painful to even say Saudi Arabia, it is the Hijaz, but the kingdom. And this is the Malik al-Saudi al-Arabiyya al-Saudiyya, Malik al-Hashimiyya al-Malikiyya al-Jordaniya, and Malik al-Bahrain. You see that this is the king of Bahrain, the king of this, the king of that. And then even the presidents that you have. The presidents are either military dictators or unelected presidents who have got power. You look at the history of the Arab world, I don't want to go into detail. And even if you look at the history of the non-Arab world, you will see the same. I was speaking to somebody when I was in transit in Istanbul. I was speaking to somebody from Algeria. He was telling me that interestingly enough, we have a president, but we don't even know if that president is living or dead. I said, what do you mean? He's the president. We have to obey him, but we have not seen him for 4 years. I said, mashallah. Our prime minister, if he doesn't show up for 4 days, people will be wondering, is he alive or is he dead? So 4 years they have not seen him. But he's the president. I said, if you guys don't know if he's dead or alive, then elect a new president. He said, no, we can't do that. He is in that position. This is what we call the Idi Amin syndrome. You're not president for life. You're there, you got to stay for life. Those of you who don't know the Idi Amin syndrome, that my birth country, Safraz Bhai is laughing, my birth country had this problem, had this issue, that the president was president for life. Until he died, until he was thrown out and sent off to Saudi Arabia, where all the other junk goes. That is what had basically happened. Okay. So what we're seeing is that the seeds of this disunity and dysfunction did not just happen now. This is not something that happened in 2019. The seeds of this were planted way before the Ottoman Empire was dismantled. There were already plans that we will divide the Muslim world into different segmentations, ethnicities. These are Afghanis, these are Arabs, these are Pashtuns, these are Hyderabadis, these are Indian, these are Pakistan, these are this, these are that, these are that. And you basically had a vision 100 years ago almost to see what you will be able to do, and you are seeing the tree and the fruits growing now. The fruits are now ripened because this was planted by those who are not even alive today. One of the vanguards of the kuffar, one of the vanguards of those who are the meddling, the munafiqeen, and those who are the destabilizers of communities, they don't care whether they are alive to see the fruits of their efforts or not. It doesn't matter to them. They want to plant the seeds, and then it doesn't matter who is there. And that's what you see. Muawiyah himself knew that he will only be the king for one entity, one generation. That's it. But he planted the seeds that lasted for hundreds of years. You see that? And you will see that the whole Zionist entity was planted in the 1940s, and the fruits of that are coming out. Their fruits are coming out now, which is the division of the Muslim unity. That you've now got these Muslims who are spending $110 billion on arms to destroy their countries and other countries, and there's nobody even in their own country to stop them. Nobody in the world to say that, what are you doing, Mahada? And so this is how they divert the people away. So you spread lies, you spread propaganda, and this happened in the time of the Holy Prophet as well. Give you an example. In her book, Dr. Anita Rai, who actually came to Islam after a very interesting journey, she wrote a book on the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She says, understanding the personality of Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Wali Muhammad. As you can tell from her name, she was not a born Muslim. Anita Rai. So I don't want to give you any more details, otherwise I'll take up so much time. But it was a very beautiful book she wrote, and she mentions in her book, I'm not writing a biography of Muhammad. I'm not writing a biography. She actually quotes that there are 1,548 books on the Holy Prophet in the English language. So she said, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to repeating that, I'm going to give you something interesting, something different, a different perspective, a different angle. And she says that the amount of attacks that were on the Prophet, on one hand were the physical attacks, you know, the beatings and the hurts and she said, but there was a different kind of an attack on the Prophet. And that attack was more dangerous than the physical attacks. It was the attack of lies. The attack of lies. And she gives specific examples. She says, for example, you know that the history in the back of the book, actually, you know where you have the preface or the preamble. She mentions, she goes, I know that there are certain mullahs who will be threatened by what I say because they want to bring Muhammad down to our level. That he was, you know, forgetful. He was a sinner. Na'udhu billah. He was this. He was that. He was just like you and me. But you know, God gave him the message, as if God could have given me the message and I would have been the prophet. But you know, whatever. Jibreel went to Muhammad ibn Abdullah and gave it to him. But it's okay. We're all the same. This is what they. And she goes, those people will be threatened by what I have to write. Those people will be threatened. So in the actual context, she writes that the life of the Holy Prophet was a very simple life for those first 25 years until his marriage. And she says that, you know how they attacked the Prophet? You see, the attacks came later, but they were talking about the early life of the Prophet. And she says that when he married Khadija, right away the biographer said, and some of our Shia believe this as well. Some Shia actually have accepted this, that Khadija was 40 years old. She was twice married. She was, somebody divorced or widowed, whatever the case. But she was 40 years old and she was twice married. And the Prophet was the third one she wasn't married. And the same biographers also write that very prominent people wanted the hand of Khadija to Kubra, Khadija bint Khuwailid, and that list included Uqaba, it included Abu Jahl, it included Abu Sufyan, it included Abu Lahab, it included many of these prominent, very, very elevated Abus of the Arabian Peninsula. They all wanted to marry her, but she said no to you, no to you. But then when she saw Muhammad, she liked him and she sent a message. And so this is what the biographers have written. And you've heard this many times, I'm sure, from different places. And especially in places like Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iraq, and in Lebanon, this is the accepted fact. So now, in response, she's saying that if Khadija was actually 40 years old, why would these Abus like Sufyan and Lahab and Jahl, why would they want to marry her when the Arabian Peninsula had no shortage of young, beautiful women? Why would they want to marry an old lady of 40 years old when they can marry a 20-year-old? Number one. And then, he says, okay, you look at Hazrat Khadija herself, if she was twice divorced or twice widowed or twice married anyways, she should marry somebody right away. If you're 40 years old, then get married. Why are you staying alone all the way? Because, it's one thing if a poor person comes to ask for your hand in marriage, because I've actually heard, there was I don't want to talk about where or when, but there was a gentleman who was maybe younger than my father, but he had never been married. So, we were talking to him and we were saying, Uncle, what's going on? Why did you never marry? He says that as my youth he's a very, very successful businessman. He said that as my youth, I just, I wanted to concentrate on my business. I wanted to, make money. And he said, today I've set up this whole empire of IT companies, computer shops, this and that. He said, now I'm at this age. If I get married, the girl who marries me will marry me for my money, not for my love. So I don't want to get married. I don't want to go into this. So what I'm saying is that if Hazrat Khadija was a very successful business lady, very prominent, so she would have had a fear that somebody poor might want to marry me because he wants my money. So those top people who were all very rich, very wealthy, they were known as, the Sayyid al-Quraysh, the Abu Sufyan, Abu Jahl, they were all very prominent, very successful businessmen. So you would have married somebody at par. So I would have said, yeah, Lady Khadija, yeah, Hazrat Khadija, marry somebody who's asking for proposal. But Dr. Rai, in his book, she's mentioning, she goes, no. See, this is the first lie. Because they wanted to devalue Bibi Khadija Kubra and increase the value of other Azwaj Rasul. So the only way you could do that is either bring their level up, which was not possible, so you bring the level of Khadija down. And this is what had happened. He says, it doesn't make sense that why would the Prophet, even entertain such a so-called proposal. And at the same time, why would Hazrat Khadija send a proposal to somebody? I mean, it's not, I mean, we're not saying it's bad or it's wrong for an elderly lady to marry a young man. This is not, there are words that they use in the English language. We're not counting anything like that. If you find somebody who has got taqwa, they say age doesn't matter. If you don't mind, age don't matter, right? Don't mind, don't matter. So that's how it happens. But what we're saying is that the fiction doesn't make sense. The puzzle doesn't add up, but it becomes very accepted. And there was a very beautiful statement when I was reading. Paulo Fox, again another thinker, had written a very beautiful quotation. And the quotation is, "It is easier to believe a lie that has been repeated 1,000 times than to believe a fact that has not been heard before." I want you to digest this for a moment. It's easier to believe a lie you've heard 1,000 times than to believe a fact that you've never heard before. So you see how the attacks here. Then if you go later on, I'm just giving you examples. So I'm not going in any chronology order. I'm not going in any order. I'm just giving you the facts that I started my lecture with, and then we will inshallah conclude that. And then you've got again similar attacks on Amirul Mu'mineen. And we were just celebrating his wiladat earlier this week, his birth anniversary in the Kaaba, mashallah, 13th of Rajab, beautiful day, month of Rajab, you have had Nawruz, may Allah, give all of you barakah and increase in your rizq and sustenance and make this year, inshallah, better than our previous years, bi'idhnillah, bi'idhnillah. And so what we see, Amirul Mu'mineen went through this as well. In the last part of the Prophet's prophethood, so in the last year, in the last couple of years, there was the expedition whereby, just after the Battle of Mu'tah, which was still undecided, this was an expedition after the Battle of Mu'tah, whereby the Prophet had received information that the Roman emperor was planning on another attack with a huge army. So, and this was during the summertime, so the Prophet was preparing the army to respond to it. So approximately 30,000 of the ashab, infantry was going, along with 10,000 cavalry, and they were going to go receive him. At that time, when the Prophet was going with this 40,000 strong army was going in the heat to face off so that the enemies don't come into Medina Munawwara. He was going there. At that time, he left Ali ibn Abi Talib in Medina. This was the one battle, one of the few battles, I should say, but the last major battle whereby the Prophet did not have Ali fighting. Every other battle, if you look at Khaybar, Khandak, Badr, Uhud, Ali ibn Abi Talib was the forefront. This one battle against the Roman Empire, the Prophet leaves Ali behind in Medina. He says, okay, we are going for the battlefield. Ali, you remain in Medina. Now think for a moment. 40,000 are going there. Ali is left behind. So some of the munafiqeen who also gave excuses not to go for the battle started a murmur. Now here, the Prophet, of course, he is the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He does not do anything without a wahi or an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet had a number of reasons why he left Ali behind, especially at this critical time. Number one, I'll give you a couple. Number one is that if you want to go to the battle, you have to understand that the people would know that even if I'm going outside of Medina for a short time, there must be somebody to safeguard the community. So the Prophet has to ensure that somebody from his side is there to look after the affairs of Nabuwat. You're with me? The political, religious, because in those days, people could have questions. People might have issues. People might have religious matters that needed attending. Medina was now growing. The whole Arabian Peninsula was under Islamic authority. So the Prophet was actually foreshadowing the wilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib and the replacement of Ali as the successor of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This another reason, again, I need your thought here. Please be with me, inshallah. Okay, I know it's a weeknight. I will not, inshallah, take too much of your time. The other thing is now 40,000 of the bravest people are going with the Prophet towards Rome, towards the Roman Empire, towards Europe. Now, what if an attack comes from another side? What if an attack comes from the Indian or the Persian or the other tribes who are hostile to Islam? So you need somebody, because the 40,000 have already gone, the most powerful, strong people. You need somebody who would be able to withstand and defend and make a complete protection of the city of Medina, which is now the headquarters of the Muslim world, who would be strong enough to fight anyone and everyone who come, and that would be none other than Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So you can see the vision of the Prophet when he left. And the munafiqeen started, the hypocrites started so much commotion and disturbing. They said, oh, Ali, you were weak, that's why the Prophet didn't take you. You are young, that's why the Prophet didn't. They started causing, the Prophet didn't trust you, that's why he didn't take you. So much so that Imam Ali felt sad, and he actually went to meet the Prophet and said, Ya Rasul, this is what they're saying. This is what these people are saying about me. Did you leave me in charge because you were afraid to take me, or you didn't want to take me, or you didn't felt I was capable? That was when the Prophet uttered his famous saying. He says, Anta minni bimanzalati Harun min Musa. Ya Ali, you are to me what Harun was to Musa, illa la nabi min ba'di, except that there is no prophet after me. You are at my position. And then the Prophet went so many things. He said that the only thing I'm afraid of is if I say everything I want to say, the Muslims will treat you the way the Christians are treating Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. That's why I'm not saying anymore. But is it not enough that you are to me what Harun was to Musa? The Imam went right back to Medina immediately and said, Ya Rasulullah, thank you. And so you can see that this was the kind of attacks that we're talking about. These were the kind of, things. And yet the government of Amirul Mu'mineen, the government of Imam Ali alayhi salam, was filled with so much justice that biographers of the Imam have written. They have written, and in his book, Justice Amir Ali, alludes to the government of the Imam and the life of the Holy Prophet, how much trust the Prophet had on Imam Ali alayhi salam. You see that in the government of Imam Ali, there were 4 things that were the vanguard of his government. Number 1, he made sure everybody had the right to life. Nobody's life was in danger under the government of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And this, when you look at the life of the Imam and the government of the Imam, you will see that it was such a dynamic and a government ahead of its time, that even people who are not Shia, not even Muslim, George Dack in his book Sawt al-Adaliyat al-Insaniyah, he writes that Ali ibn Abi Talib was ahead of his time. He was not for that era, he was actually for this era. And the United Nations under Kofi Annan in 2002 actually mentioned in their report to the Arab world that if you want true greatness for your community, if you want true freedom, you need to follow, listen, read the example of what Ali ibn Abi Talib wrote and implement that in your countries. Then you will have true freedom. You will have greatness. This is a non-Muslim entity, a person writing to the people of the Arabian Peninsula, follow the dictates of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Follow Ali ibn Abi Talib. Right to life. There was 4 things that were sort of like the vanguards of the Imam's administration. One was the right to life. Everybody had the right to life. Nobody was killed unjustly. Nobody was killed wrongly. The right to life. The second was the right to thought. The people in the administration of Imam Ali, they had the freedom to think what they want. Then the Imam, if he thought that there was something wrong, he didn't do what these other mullahs and muftis do and cut their heads off and say, okay, you're a good Jahannami, you are this, you are that, you are murtad, you are, kill them all. Anybody who says something wrong, who says something, who thinks something wrong, because we have thought police as well, right? And I had gone one time for Hajj and a couple of Umrah that I had done by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At Salat time, those of you who have been in Hijaz, in Makkah, Medina, what happens at Salat time? Salah, 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 salah. Anybody who's not there, I don't know if it still happens now, but in our time, in the 90s and the early 2000s, they had these batons, dandas, we call them danda, batons. And if you're not going into the masjid, they would actually, how they do this to the sheep? They beat them until they go into the vineyard. They used to do that to the people. Now you don't know what the problem is, you don't know what the situation is, you don't know why I'm not praying, you don't know what my problems might be. Maybe I can't stand, maybe I can't do wudu, maybe I have this, maybe whatever. You can't force, but you see this is what I was talking, the opposition against actual Islamic values. This is what we're seeing today. Then the Imam also had the right to action. So that ties in with what I said earlier. So what you're thinking, if it is wrong, the Imam would have a discussion with them. The Imam would engage in conversation with husna, with good akhlaq, with good manners and etiquette, and then he would convince of the right and wrong. And then even if you don't accept it, then that is your way. As long as you're not misguiding others, you have your freedom. The last thing the Imam had, the fourth thing that the biographers have written, is the right to racial equality. There was no superiority between Arab and Ajam. There was no superiority based on color of skin. There was no superiority based on your language. Everybody was treated as an equal, and that was one of the things that those who were, used to having privileged access to the Khalifa, those who were used to having, privileges, and those who had a special line that they had to stand in, were now being, told that you have to stand in the same line as everybody else. And they went to Ali, they said, you mean I have to stand in the same line as Bilal? Me and Abu Dhar are in the same line? Salman, who is Ajam, is going to be in the same line that I'm standing in, and his stipend will be the same as my stipend? How can that be? I am this, he is that. I am that, he is this. And so what you can see is the Imam's administration was of such beauty that not only the Muslims had this benefit. One time Imam is walking in Kufa, he's walking with his advisors and companions, and he sees a man sitting on the floor begging. The Imam says, "Ma hada." Now my Arabic friends are smiling because I should have said man hada. No, Imam says ma hada. You see, man hada would have symbolized who is this? Ma hada is what is this? The companions, they told me, Ali, don't worry about him, he's just a beggar, he's not even a Muslim, so don't worry about him. Imam said, no, wait, what do you mean why is he begging? This is the administration of Ali ibn Abi Talib. There should be nobody needy, nobody poor. Why is somebody poor? He says, he's a Christian, and he had worked all his life, and he was asking the man, Imam was asking the man, he said, I worked all my life, I don't have any children, nobody's looking after me, nobody's supporting me, so now I have no choice. I worked all my life, I'm a senior citizen now, and I have to now beg. Similar to what happens to some seniors in Canada as well. So he's begging. Imam immediately says to Usman ibn Hanif, his treasurer, he says, put this man on a stipend from the Baytul Mal until the day he dies. He will receive a stipend from what? When he was young and healthy, you took the work out of him. He worked for you, and now that he's old and he can't work and he has nobody to support him, you leave him like that. Put him and anybody else who is in need. They were trying to say, Mullah, he's a Christian, he's not even a Muslim. Imam says he is an insan. That is why the Imam gave a same famous hadith. He said, there are some people who are your brothers in humanity, and there are some who are your brothers in iman. Those who are your brothers in faith, you have certain responsibilities, obligations to them. There are certain people who are your brothers in humanity, you have obligations to them as well. This was the character of Ali ibn Abi Talib. This was the status of what Imam said. And for that reason, those who were used to, they would make up accusations against him, they spread lies about him, they would destabilize his government, until the time would come that they actually ended up killing the Imam. And so his family also suffered the same. And that is why we're remembering two dynamic personalities who had suffered similar atrocities as those of Rasulullah himself and those of Amirul Mu'mineen. The lies and all that were on one side. When, and as Sayyid mentioned in the before the Mankabat, that I see nothing but Jamila, I see nothing but beauty in this. Who would be able to say that after seeing what she saw in Karbala Mu'alla? And they see their brother being slaughtered and killed, and they see the members of their family being not only killed. If it was just killing, would have been different, but remaining hungry and thirsty for 3 days, seeing children crying. Sometimes we can tolerate each other's cries or agonies, but when a child's agony and threat is there, that becomes totally different. My dear sisters and brothers, Hazrat Zaynab saw the hunger, the thirst on the face of the children. She saw the murdering of her brother in front of her own eyes. She sees what has happened, what has transpired, and then the accursed Umayyads ask her that, what do you think? How do you think Allah killed your brother? And to say that I see nothing but beauty in the decisions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes courage. It takes an iron heart. Our salutations and salams on Zaynab Kubra and Zaynab Sughra. Our salutations on these ladies of the Ahlul Bayt, who not once did they hear them complaining. Not once did they utter a complaint against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or against what was happening. But why is it us? When a small difficulty befalls us, we say, Ya Allah, why me? Why did I get sick? Why did this happen to me? None of that was heard on the lips of the ladies of Ahlul Bayt. In fact, the biographers of Hazrat Zaynab have written that not once did she shed a tear for her own and Muhammad, for her own children, until such time when the caravan reached Medina and she went home and she saw the empty beds of Aun and Muhammad. Only that time, a year after Karbala, did she remember her own sons and says, wow, no Muhammad. When she went back to Sham for this Right, said that she went back to Sham, to Damascus, for the ziyarah of Sakina, of Ruqayyah bint al-Hussein. When she went back, one of the Mal'oon, one of the Umayyads found out that the daughter of Ali was here, and they say that he hit her with a spade and killed her, and some say she was buried in Sham, the same Sham that Hazrat Ruqayyah Sakina. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Ya Allah, accept this small ibadat from us on Laylatul Jummah. Ya Allah, those who are ill, grant them shifa kamila of their illnesses, the marhumin who have left this world, Ya Allah, give them maghfirat. When we leave this world, protect us from the difficulties of maut, the difficulties in the qabr, and difficulties on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Ya Allah, protect our ulama, the maraja who are serving while the imam is in occultation. Grant them a long and healthy life in the service of Islam. Ya Allah, bihaqqi hadha Laylatul Jummah, we ask you, Ya Allah, bihaqqi hadha Shahr Rajab al-Sharif, that please hasten our Mawla, our Imam, Rabbana, inshallah, to establish justice and equality and truth throughout the world. Ya Allah, so that this oppression and these injustices that are in the world, in Yemen, in Nigeria, in Bahrain, and all over, wherever they are, that these injustices will end, Ya Allah. Cause the perpetrators to be having a hasty downfall. If we can join together and recite 5 times Amhajibah. For those who are ill, for Allah Ta'ala to give them shifa, especially those who have been injured in this New Zealand attack, and in any attack or in any place, in Pakistan, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, wherever. We ask Allah to give them all shifa, for our hajat to be accepted, for the hifazat of Imam Zamana, and the safety and the security of the mu'mineen all over the world altogether. Bismillah Rahmanir Rahim. أما إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أما يجيب دعا ويكشف السوء اللهم صل على محمد وعلى الفاتحة للأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والعلماء والشهداء. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. ماتم حسين.
يا حسين 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 يا حسين. Brothers and sisters, indeed the tragedy of Karbala is a great tragedy. When these household, especially Lady Zaynab alayhi salam, was told about the difficulties that she would face after the event of Karbala, she would say that how is that these A'da would be able to take our veils when our brother Abbas is alive, as though even after this event that Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam witnessed and suffered the tragedies not only during the event of Karbala but even after, as he accompanied the qafila, the caravan of Sayyid al-Shuhada. जब शाम के बाजार में सैदानियाँ आईं और चादर की जगह खाक सफ़र बालों में लाई, नागाह जब गाजी की नजर कुलसूम तक आई, सरखाक पे अब्बास ने नेज़े से गिराया। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे ना पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे ना पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे ना पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। एक गयूर वफादार पे अब और सितम क्या होगा, जिसकी चादर का बहादुर था आज हुई बेपर्दा। शाम वालों इसी एहसास दौरान सफर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे न पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे न पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं का सर। गिर गई राह में नाक़े से सकीना तो ये ज़ैनब ने कहा, एक चचा और भतीजे की मोहब्बत तो जरा देखे खुदा। पुश्ते नाक़े पे संभलती नहीं शह की दुख्तर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे न पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे न पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास सर। शाम के लोग तमाशाई बने और तमाशा सादात, बेवतन और खुले सर रहे रहा करे क्या सादात। खून आंखों से बाते हैं शहे जिन्नो बशर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे न पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे न पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं का सर। आंधियों खाक उड़ाओ के बने इससे हरम का पर्दा, गूंजी जब शाम की गम का फ़ज़ाओं में ये ज़ैनब की सदा। आसमां रोने लगा रोई ज़मीं ये कहकर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। डर कुलसूम के चेहरे पे न पड़ जाए नजर, नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर। नो के नेज़ा पे ठहरता नहीं अब्बास का सर. Remembering the time when Sayyid al-Shuhada had bid farewell to his sister. खुदा हाफिज, खुदा हाफिज, زینب حزین من زینب حزین من خواهران خدا حافظ زینب حزین من زینب حزین من خواهران خدا حافظ زینب حزین من نب حزین من خدا حافظ اے میری بہن زینب گھر تیرے حوالے ہے جو لائق سجدہ ہے سر اس کے حوالے ہے بس چلنے کو ہے خنجر بس چلنے کو ہے خنجر خواہراں خدا حافظ زینب حزین من زینب حزین من خواہراں خدا حافظ مارے گئے سب بہنا ہم رہ گئے اب تنہا اس عالم غربت میں مشکل ہے میرا جینا مارے گئے سب دل بر مارے گئے سب دل بر خواہراں خدا حافظ زینب حزین من زینب حزین من خواہراں خدا حافظ خنجر میری گردن پر جب شمر چلائے گا رہ رہ کے مجھے تیرا چہرہ نظر آئے گا تو ہوگی برہ ناصر تو ہوگی برہ ناصر خواہراں خدا حافظ زینب حزین من زینب حزین من خواہراں خدا حافظ یا حسین یا حسین الا لعنت اللہ علی القوم الظالمین متوجہ زیارہ
زيارات وارثة السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله السلام عليك يا وارث نوح النبي الله السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كليم الله السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله السلام عليك يا وارث أمير المؤمنين ولي الله السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثاره والوتر الموتور أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين فلعن الله أمة قتلتك ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأصلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبس من مدلهمات ثيابها وأشهد أنك من دعام الدين وأركان المؤمنين وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي الرضي الزكي الحادي المهدي وأشهد أن الإمة من ولدك كلمة التقوى والأعلام الهدى والعروة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا وأشهد الله وملائكته وأني بهم أنبياءه ورسوله أني بكم مؤمن وبيا بكم موقن بشرائع الدين وخواتين عملي وقلبي لقلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم متق صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم.
السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن الحسين الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها الشهيد وابن الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. شهداء كربلاء. السلام عليكم يا أولياء الله وأحباءه، السلام عليكم يا أسفياء الله وأبداءه، السلام عليكم يا أنصار دين الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار رسول الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي محمد الحسن بن علي الولي الذكي الناصح، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي عبد الله، بأبي أنتم وأمين، طبتم وطابت الأرض التي فيها دفنتم، وفزتم فوزا عظيما، فيا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز معكم. زيادة أبو الفضل. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن سيد الوصيين، السلام عليك يا ابن أول القوم إسلاما وأقدمهم إيمانا وأقومهم دين الله وأحوتهم على الإسلام. أشهد لقد نصحت لله ولرسوله ولأخيك فنعم الأخ المواسي. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة استحلت منك المحارم وانتهكت حرمة الإسلام. فنعم الصابر المجاهد المحامي الناصر، والأخ الدافع عن أخيه المجيب إلى طاعة ربه، الراغب فيما زهد فيه غيره من الثواب الجزيل والثناء الجميل. والحقق الله بدرجة آبائك في جنات النعيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا، حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.